what are these roles? I'll start with you, Mr. Dixon. Right.
Okay, so the Ghana National Fire Service is an agency that is responsible for undertaking that's rescue missions, and then rescuing victims when it comes to situations in respect to fires, and as well as organized simulation exercises, also for facilities when it comes to the need for undertaking emergency rescue missions. Okay, so when you come to the station at Anya, or like I said with the fire service, we have various departments, and then with the department we have heads. So when you see DO3,
what does it mean?
Yes, there is Division Officer Grade 3.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the rank title. Yes, he's Division Officer Grade 3, and he's the head of the department. So that's
because it's 3, the highest.
No.
So
we have ranks.
We
have the what do you call the junior officers, and then we have the senior officers.
And they are 1? Or?
No. So the senior officers starts from Assistant Division Officer Grade 2.
Grade 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you go to Assistant Division Officer Grade 1. So I'm the one.
You are the 1.
Yes. And then he is Division Officer Grade 3.
Grade 3.
So from there he goes to Grade 2 and then above before you get to the chief
officer. So it
officer.
starts from the bottom.
Yes.
So
please.
it's like 3, 2, 1. So 1 is actually the highest for.
So okay, so let me make clarifications on it.
Right.
Like when you go to other security agencies, and then you can start with ASI or ASP for the police. When it comes to fire service, we start from Assistant Division Officer Grade 2. That's ADO 2. Then you go to ADO 1. Then you go to DO 3, DO 2, then DO 1.
Wow.
Yes.
Before that's you get long chain.
So it's a systematic channel that you need to move through.
Right.
And then when you come to my role from the department, I'm actually the second in command to him.
Okay.
From the station. But normally when we get to the field, the safety department actually looks at a role of educating the public, carrying out inspections, and then also trying to ensure compliance with all the objectives that the service partakes or mandates institutions to operate. And then when you look at my role like this, when you go on the field, it's more about technical knowledge. Yes, so when it comes to the compliance, you need an officer as well who will meet that role and ensure that the compliance nature, the code of conduct, the laws, the application of the laws and all those things. And then also when it comes to building engineering, all the aspect of building engineering also comes within.
Okay, so that's your department is actually in charge of that?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
So that's it.
That's nice. The technical aspect of it.
Yes, the technical aspect, yes.
Right. What about you, Mr. Dodu?
Thank you. As he said everything, you see we have different roles. I think my role is also a part of a larger role. I think Anya, we have so many roles. That's the operation, we have the welfare, administration, PR, and other duties. You see. So as he said, he is on the side of skills. I'm also on the human aspects.
Human aspects.
That's the human relations aspects.
Okay, what does it entail?
That's you would go to an agency institution, that's schools, hospital, churches, mosque. You would see the head. You would also tell him, oh, this and that you need in safety, in fire safety.
Okay.
You also advise him.
So more or less like an education.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. So you see, we have different roles in. So it is not only about fires in fire service. There are so many roles in fire service that some don't know. So we are here to talk more and shed light on it.
Right. Thank you so much.
And then I want to hit once again to what my boss has said. Okay, so all units or all departments have heads, and then heads comes with that's the mandated ranks or the position level within the department. So with the ranks with the department, he is the head within the ranks.
Oh, okay.
So automatically, and then looking at the field knowledge and also with the capacity base, he becomes the head of the department. And then he is also responsible for our effectiveness, how we move, the things that we do within the department, all our goals and aspirations as a department and as a service.
Oh, nice.
He's responsible for that. So we run through that change in rank or change in sequence. That I cannot do anything without his knowledge.
Approval.
Yes, and then he also undertakes all activities when, an example, the higher ranks are also not present within the station. So that is it.
Yes, so it's more like a laissez-faire approach. See, I'm not on an isolation thing. I have to have my subordinates here to support me in everything I do.
Oh, okay. So it's more or less like you have to give them approval to go. They also have to come
approval,
to you.
yes.
Right.
So
it's
work as a unit.
Right. Exactly how it should actually be.
Thank you.
Can you briefly explain to us what is the core mandate of the Ghana National Fire Service?
Okay. So when you look at the fire service from its inception for 1963, okay, we're more of like having various agencies or units coming together to fight fires. Yes, but the law was established and then it was re-amended that in 1997, which is the Act 537, and then the Ghana National Fire Service was formed. Yes, so the law actually looked at our objectives and then what actually we are supposed to do. So with our objective, we are supposed to prevent and then manage undesired fires. But the law mandates us as an agency to be able to organize public fire education programs. And then when we do this, it's able to create the awareness of the hazards of fires and then highlighting the role of the individual in the prevention of fires. Also, we are also mandated to carry out inspections on fire extinguishers for premises to ensure compliance. And as well, we carry out stimulation exercises. When someone is also building his or her facility, it's also the service duty to also carry out with something called inspections and also give permits through structural layout and then a whole lot within there. That's the facility. And then also we carry other works incidental to the function of the service. So an example, when there's an election, you can see that the service personnel are being involved in other undertaking activities of the service. And then as well too, we also train fire volunteers at the community level. So it is no areas that you have personnel at. So when you go to the rural areas and then places that we encounter most what we call wildfires or bushfires, we try to train volunteers. And then within the youth squad as well, we train them to ensure that when there's an outbreak or there's an emergency, they are the first respondents that will attend to. And then we also move in and then also save lives and properties.
Right. Yeah. In your submission, you mentioned that you survey layouts and buildings. Yeah. And I believe this is actually to check as to if that building is properly put out.
Yes, please.
But is it effective here in our country where when people want to put up building, they consult you before they proceed?
Okay. So what I can say with this is that we have agencies, and then you see the actual custodians of all our lands are the traditional rulers.
The chiefs.
Yes. And then with the traditional rulers, they have sub-rulers or people that helps them out to be able to give lands out to, that's the community or persons who are interested in the lands. And you know, in our community, how things go about. So always I've been saying this, that the law is the law, and ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
Yes. So when it comes to our end like this, an individual will acquire land, and then instead of him or her to try and then check the various regulators to be able to position or put out a good layout for that's the facility or the building that he or she wants to put up, the force is coming from the person who sold the land to them.
Exactly.
So they'll tell you, come and build, come and build, come and build.
Without even doing the necessary consultations.
That is it. So later on, when the person put out the facility, and then it happens that the facilities are being erected within the area. Now when it comes to an emergency, and you try to move with your appliance or an emergency vehicle to go and then carry out to rescue or save lives, then becomes a challenge.
It becomes difficult.
So the problems, to me, is coming from one, that's some of the rulers, two, some of we the regulators, and then three, the individual themselves, because the regulators are there. If you also don't move in actually to go and ensure compliance, the people or the individual will still do the wrong thing. But I always encourage that all entities or all individuals who have made up their minds to put out facilities, they should actually engage, that's the stakeholders, that's the regulators, for them to be able to do the right thing.
Right. Mr. Dudu,
Yes.
is there any sanction to these people who bypass the Ghana National Fire Service before putting up their buildings?
Yes. I would say that most people don't actually know the law that we undertake. You see, so before you go and build a structure, you would go first to the assembly to go and try and see what and whole lot, and they would also take you to there's a portion that will give you fire permits. That you would come to us, our agency, to assist you in designing or putting up a structure. You see, so in case, if I'm praying at time, but in case something happens, you see insurance people coming in, you see insurance coming, the police coming in, and they will ask did you consult the fire service? And yes, and there are also sanctions on that.
But have there been instances where you have to actually demolish a building because they didn't consult you? Or it's too extreme.
So let me come within. Okay. You see, when you look at our agency, like I read out the objectives and then our mandates. Demolition has its own agency that undertakes such activities. So when such issues come in and we see that the building is not fit for purpose, what we can do is, if it's from the district level, we write a letter from the district to the region, and then the letter will go to our chief officer, and then it will be assessed whether that's the findings that has come out from the inspection results for demolition. And then other stakeholders that are responsible for undertaking such activities will be consulted, and then action will be taken.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Right. But beyond firefighting, are there any other responsibilities that you undertake as an institution?
Yes, please. We also carry out rescue missions, and then, like I said, we undertake other responsibilities when there's a national need, like I said, elections, and then when we are being needed for an example, when they are playing football at the stadium, you can see the presence of fire service to ensure that if there's any issue, fire service come in, to perform rescue purposes, also to ensure that the humidity nature within the stadium also comes. That's why we also go there with the water. In case there's any issue, then we can also spray and then give much that's kind of oxygen for people to be able to breathe.
Yeah, and also if there's an extreme case of no water in an area, you can also come to us. We also assist in water, as in
shortage of water.
Thank you. That churches, hospitals.
Oh, really?
Yes, humanitarian services.
I actually didn't know it was part of your mandate.
Part of it.
So
we serve the public. We will serve us. Yes.
So a typical example was during the COVID time.
Yes, COVID.
Yes, we have one that's there's the Pentecost Convention Center, the one at Kaswa.
Okay.
Yes, when other patients were being quarantined. Yes, it was a service that was called for to offer humanitarian services.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So aside firefighting, you do humanitarian jobs as well.
Yes, please, yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting to know that you actually supply water.
Yes.
Yeah. That actually also brings me to reminds me of when the stampede happened in Accra. I think during the Christmas season, fire service had to go and so you do all of that as well. I actually didn't know it was.
And then even if you could remember, quite recently in Kumasi, when there was this artworks.
Yes.
You could see that fire service was also engaged to wash off the place. So those are part of
your job as well.
the other duties that we do. And then if there's a clock in Gates, and it happens that assembly or the environmental situation is being tried to improve, they also call fire service to come, and then we use our water to also to wash the drains.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
I think was it last year? That's when the at Kumasi, the Batters were playing a match on the stadium, and we we wanted to help to spray the grass.
Oh,
yes,
yes,
just a video that is on it.
Yes,
so
I saw
help
that.
with other means aside firefighting.
Yes. So now you know that fire service is not only about fighting fire.
Yes.
They also do humanitarian jobs as well.
Yes.
You can just call on them. Maybe they can help you. Right, now moving into fire issues.
Yeah.
What would you say is one of the main causes of fire outbreak in our country?
Okay, so I want to deal deep into the causes.
The causes.
Okay,
So
so
love that.
when you have causes, we have two main types of causes. We have the root causes,
Root causes,
and then we have the immediate causes.
immediate causes.
Okay, so when you look at the root causes are something that the individual has been doing for long, and then the immediate is the action that the person did that resulted in the outbreak.
Could it be knowingly or unknowingly?
Yes, sometimes it can be accidental.
Okay.
But generally, we categorize the causes into five. Yes, we have the accident, we have the ignorance, we have carelessness, we have the natural causes, and we also have arson. But through our investigation, we have realized that the root causes are the ones that are bringing the fires. So I'll give you a typical example. So you have a restaurant, or let's say an eatery base. That's the pantry. That's what normally my boss have been using. Yes, and then you can see that we have ways of storing flammables. But based on the root cause, you can see that mostly they have the cylinders close to the heat source.
To the heat source.
So it has become a culture that they are doing over there. So immediately there's a leakage, there's a possibility that fires will come. But normally, because they are doing this, if it happens that they place the cylinder and then the fire comes, immediately, that was the cause. But the root itself is that is a culture that they are doing, and it's bringing the fires. So always, that is what we are educating people on. So like the field issue I'm saying, when you go out, we try to look at all these things, and then we inspect, and then we advise them in putting the cylinders at a well air ventilated area to ensure that when there's any leakage, the air that's coming out, or the one that we are breathing, we're able to take the fume out. Yes. So I'll go deep into like what I was saying again.
Yeah.
When you look at the carelessness at the causes of fires, it's the individual who, let's say, negligently places something down, knowing that what he's doing can bring about fires, but he or she will do it, and then the fires will come. An example, when those days that we were showing these telenovelas, this Kunkumba here, you can see that someone might be cooking at the kitchen, and then the person who placed the napkin close by the stove, and then because they are saying, I've forgotten the name of the...
is it Abby?
Yes, Abby also. Hey, Abby, see that Abby is in. Then because of the haste, the person will leave the kitchen unattended to and go. Yes. And the time he or she comes, the napkin is burning. So it's part of carelessness. And then we have ignorance. Ignorance because most of the things that people are doing, they don't know. Always I've been saying this. And then you bear me witness. I'm using an iPhone right now. And then all mobile phones have manuals. But how many of us read our mobile phones manuals? We just buy the mobile phone. And then because I've used an iPhone before, what I'll do is that I'll just pick and then get a case and then start using the phone. But all phones have specifications. So ignorantly, if I'm supposed to, let's say, use a 45 watt maybe charger to charge the phone, and I'm not supposed to use that for the new one, it's meaning that I'm causing problem for the phone. So ignorantly, if I charge and then it overloads and there's an outbreak of fire, I don't know. So ignorantly, it will bring the fire.
So our phones...
Thank you. The things that we do ignorantly, we don't know.
But luckily some modern phones have this warning thing. That example, this iPhone, that you want, if it's very hot, they would tell you it's very, very, very hot. They don't open it for you, so you can just put it there. Right? It will show you that it's very hot, so cool down before you start using the iPhone. Yes.
Right.
So like I'm saying, looking at that, like my boss has rightly said, ignorantly we don't know, and then we are doing. So always we'll be encouraging that things that you don't know, just ask. If I'll use the tree language, You've understood me. If it is there, try to ask, and then you will be taught. Because sometimes even the wirings that we do ignorantly, we don't know that, oh, maybe if I lay a conduit here and I use, I take that's a source of power from here and I send it here, it can bring a problem. Because all sockets have its actual devices that we are supposed to plug in it. But we don't know, and then we don't ask. Then we just go and then we plug a microwave in there, or we plug a washing machine. And now most of our ACs also has the plugs. So we just plug it in there, whilst the power that is taken is more than what it can handle. And the fires will come. We look at accident as well. So with the accident, I've been saying that it's not always an issue, but it is a big issue. Because it is still mankind that is causing this or is bringing this accident. Because it is mankind that manufactures devices, and it's mankind that regulates them. So if, like I'm saying, specifications are on the device, and then it reaches its limits, it will do what? It will get spoiled. And then when it gets spoiled, we send them to repairers. You've understood? So when you send it to the repairer has repaired it, but you don't know whether it has reached the standard of what the white man has done. So accidentally, you can use the thing, and then it will result in fires. So accident also brings out fires. And we call something arson. When we talk about arson is a deliberate act. It's like having an issue with someone, and then the person deciding to try and then burn the entity. And then we have the natural causes. So we say the natural causes are the ones that's coming from the direct sunlight. That's the rays from the sunlight. But always I've been saying this, and I've been telling people that despite we having natural causes, which are the volcanoes and then the lightning and other stuff, we cause something bushfires. And we have been saying that sometimes the radiation from the sun also causes bushfires. But it's mankind that mostly brings about these bushfires. Ask me why.
And not the sun.
Yes, ask me why.
Why?
Okay. Some of us, sometimes when we go for camping and then we drink drinks from glass bottles or metals, where do you keep them? We just throw them in the bushes.
Exactly.
Yes. And then we have something we call reflection. So when the sun reflects, and it reflects onto a material medium, what does it do? It transfers into the combustible material, which is the grass or the hay. And the moment you have a consistent or a direct flow of rays, that's the heat source onto the grass, and it's a hay and it is dry, the fires will start.
It will spark.
Yes. So I've been saying that despite it being natural, mankind too is still part of it.
Right. So per your research, one of the most common causes of fire outbreak you mentioned is the root cause.
That's a root cause, yes.
The something that we like a culture.
Yes. Extension cord. I'll say it. Extension cord. Extension cord hasn't been manufactured for us to use for long usage. It's like for temporary. So like within this studio, we want to plug something here, and then unfortunately the TV cord is not up to for a short time. So the extension cord has manufactured that you use it within that period, and then when you are done, you take it off. But the root cause is that we've placed the socket there, we've added the extension cord. We have our TV in there. We have some people like the single rooms. We have our fridge in there. We have sometimes we plug our irons and then our mobile chargers. And then the extension cord has its limits of the load that it could take. Yes. So then immediately you plug all these things, that you're overloading the socket. And then when you overload it, it brings out sparks or gives you signs of fires. You've understood me?
Yes.
So the root cause is that instead of me taking out the extension cord, I'm still using it. But when the fires comes from anything that I plug within, I'll say that it is because I plugged in there's a plug into the socket. That is why the fire is.
But you're only supposed to use it for a short period of time.
That is it.
Or just put it in the main socket.
Yes, that is it.
We shouldn't overburden the socket. That you add, someone add microwave to it, and air fire to it.
Exactly.
Same socket. Then you also add fan to it, which overloads the arms in the socket.
In there.
Yes.
So I think a lot of education needs to actually go into it. I didn't know that the extension, you're actually supposed to use it for a short period. Because sometimes it can be on for like till.
Yes.
People don't know.
We actually don't know. So a lot of education actually has to go in this. Right here in our country, what would you say that is prone to fire outbreak?
So still with electricity, that's the main handling use of electricity. We don't use power well. It's like it's our source of daily livelihood. So wherever you have settlement, electric power is being drawn from any source, and then we start using it. So I'll give a typical example. When you go to the new site, what do you see? You see these bamboo sticks, or you see these normal sticks, and then you go to someone's house, and then cables are being joined to pick up power.
Yes, solid tape.
Yes,
The
thank
black
you.
one.
Yes.
We don't actually engage qualified electricians to do the
job.
works. Yes, actually, when you want to undertake all activities, you need to engage a qualified electrician, and then you go to ECG for them to give you a meter for you to use. And even with that one, they will let you see someone from Energy Commission for the person to come to your premises to inspect your cables to ensure that it doesn't have any effect. But what do we see? We don't even engage them. We just get to a friend, and then unfortunately we draw power from his house, and then we also use it. It's very wrong. So mostly, through my findings, electricity, that is the most actual. That's electrical fires.
So
the
we
most
always advise that if you are going to rent a new place, please go and take somebody who is an expert in this thing, because this somebody's new building, a kitchen, different wiring, living room, different wiring, which causes a lot of fire. Yes, that's the main cause.
So when it comes to us, it actually looks like when it comes to the marketplaces, that is where most fire outbreak actually happen. What would you say is contributing to the causes of fire? Because somewhere last year we saw Kantamanto burning, we saw Kumasi Edum also burning, we saw Dansuman burning, and other places. And these places are actually marketplaces. That why the marketplace? What is the cause?
Okay, so so you see, when an individual or an entity prioritize cost and production more than safety, fires will come. And then there are general root causes of this. One, there's a dwelling in the market. We cook in the market.
Yes.
And then we prioritize cost more than the safety. So when all these activities are happening in the market, fires will come. And then, like I said, electrical. Yes. There are a whole lot of means that brings about that's the fires. But upon our investigations, that will tell us as an agency that this is the actual cause of these fires. And then mostly when it comes to market fires, I wouldn't want to go much deep into it, because it's mostly with the PRO that comes out
that's
to pick on market. Yes.
But there are so many causes. That's some can cook in the market.
Cook in the market.
Some can't.
Electrical.
Legal connections in the market. See, there are so many causes in the market. But as you said, it all boils down to the PR for this education. Yes.
Now to the prevention. How can we prevent this fire outbreaks?
Okay, so I always have been saying that prevention of fires actually deals with the entity and then the individual. Safety is actually supposed to be prioritized by management. And then when management is able to understand the need for a good culture, the prevention aspect will start coming. So we are looking at trying to be able to undertake what we call the actual hierarchy of control. And then that is what people don't understand. Because if the actual causes of the fires are within your premises, and then you don't eliminate them, the fires will come. When you have an area that you are working and you know that at least you use this material but it can cause fires, and you don't substitute them, the fires will come. If you don't train your workers and to tell them that doing this, doing that will bring fires, the fires will come. When you also don't put engineering procedures into place. So an example, let's say at first you were using gas to cook, and you realize that gas is highly inflammable. So what do? You can go in for electric stoves and then use it. That's an engineering pattern that you can use. But most of us, our minds are on PPEs. And PPE is supposed to be the last resort that an agency or as an individual you're supposed to think of. And a typical example is the fire extinguisher. Yes. Most people think if I have my premises and I procure a sprinkler or I procure a fire extinguisher into the facility, it means that when fires come, it will automatically go off. No. your attitude or your actions that you are doing as a culture aspect will result whether the fires will come or not. So if you are not able to identify these hazards and put appropriate solutions to them, the fires will come. So we are saying that for you to prevent these fires, try to understand your system, try to identify all hazards within you, and then fires will come. And then the least resort as part of compliance is that's a fire extinguisher. So that is that when you are around and then the fires comes immediately, you use the fire extinguisher to extinguish your fires. Yes.
And also with the prevention, he has said a lot. I also say housekeeping, proper housekeeping. That's being clean in your homes. Yeah. See, some women, if they buy items, they leave the empty boxes in the kitchen just for decorations. You see, which can cause fire. See, so we always ensure that please keep your place clean and allow proper air ventilation in your premises. Yes.
So what is the first thing to do when you're caught up in a situation such as fire outbreak? What do you do?
Okay. So the first thing for each and every individual is to shout for or call for help.
But don't panic.
Yes.
Don't panic.
Yes.
Calling for help and don't panic.
Yes. You need to call for help because when you call for help, there could be that there's someone around, and then the next step you are supposed to do is to call the Ghana National Fire Service for assistance. Yes, because when you call us, despite maybe people coming to help you out, it could be a fire, it could be something differently that needs our breaking for us to come and rescue you. So you call us either on 192 or any of the nearest fire stations contact number. Yes, so you do that, and then you, if it's possible for you to evacuate, to you use your nearest exit, and then you actually go to the assembly point. So we also say that sometimes people say, oh, when it happens, go and then be under your bed. And no, please, it's not advisable. Yes.
But please call us. We don't charge anything because they think if they call us, they come and take something. But we don't charge any fee to extinguish fire. Just call us and we'll come.
Just call them and they'll come. They don't charge any money.
No.
This is the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. If you have any questions, you can drop your comments or your questions in the comment section. On Facebook, we are streaming live at GhanaTalks Radio. On YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Just log on and let's get interactive. If you have any question at all, just drop your questions in the comment section. We'll do well to read them and they will reply to you. Now, let's come to the challenges you face.
Okay. So the challenges is myriad. It's a lot. You see, I've been saying that the understanding of the individual in highlighting the role of preventing fires is great, and then we need that from every individual. But the problem is that compliance nature is low, and then understanding the safety culture is also a problem. Because I'll give an example. Right, even with us officers who ensure compliance, you go to field and you even go to markets, you are even advising someone to even procure a PPE, and the person who used the word nyaminti, nyaminti emba. Why is that the fire extinguisher is very expensive? Why is it that you people you come? Why are we supposed to service the fire extinguisher? We haven't used it, and then you are coming that you should go and service it. It's a problem, and always I've been saying that I use it as a causes as part of ignorance. That is what is happening. So our main challenge on the field, like I said, is the ignorance nature, and the will or the desire of the individual to undertake the compliance nature is a big problem. Yes, it's a very, very big problem. And then another issue is trying to manage space by the entity, because sometimes you go for inspections and then you realize that instead of them going according to compliance, they have packed combustibles up to the ceiling level. You even go telling them that what they have done can result in actual accumulation of heat. But because they have a space that they want to pack their items, giving them instructions and then even issuing them compliance notices even becomes an issue for you. Yes. Sometimes immediately they see you people come in and you ask them of their bosses, they will tell you our boss is not there.
But it's for your own safety.
Thank you.
That's what.
That is it.
Our culture.
Yes, that's a safety culture.
Yes.
So would you say it's our mindset?
That's a big problem. That's the mindset. So when we started, I used the word, when an individual or an agency prioritize cost and production more than safety, it's a big issue. It's a really big issue.
It's a big issue.
It's a big issue.
But would you say that the public is educated enough when it comes to the issue of fire?
Okay.
There is never enough of anything in this world. More and more safety must be done to help the public understand that your safety is your life. You can't just ignore safety just like that. Example, you can put up a 6-7 story building, buy all the necessary cameras, wiring, dogs, security, but a small spark can cause everything to fall. Yes, that's not. So safety is very, 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 very. It's a must for every Ghanaian or anybody who knows safety. It's a big must. Yes.
I'm not saying that fire outbreak will happen.
Yes.
But how do you prepare yourself? Because just this morning I watched a video from one of the government institution, and someone mentioned that they actually created a prank, more or less like a fire outbreak, to see how prepared that institution is, how they actually going to respond to it.
We can.
Is it?
Yeah. So let me. Yes. So let me see. You see, as part of our functions, I was telling you we organize a stimulation exercise.
So that is a stimulation exercise, and not a prank.
Yes. So it depends.
It's a stimulation exercise and not a prank.
Yes. It's a stimulation exercise that the two agencies collaborated to organize for that agency.
But is that not you causing fear and panic?
No, it's very good.
Do you? So meaning that you don't even inform the institution?
We don't inform them.
So they'll just be there.
Yes,
you just tell them that there's a fire outbreak.
Yes. So what
test their
alertness?
So what if someone actually?
No. So let me say this. You have buildings that goes from 7th floor to 8th floors.
Yes.
Yes. And then you need the sequence or evacuational proceedings within the facility to ensure that when there's any emergency, how will occupants escape? You've understood me. So an example, if you don't create the awareness, and then an example, there's a problem or there's a faulty alarm and it triggers, the alertness or the quick response of the occupants will be there. They will be there. They will just be working. You've understood me. But the moment you test the alertness, if there's a real issue, all of them will evacuate, and then you wouldn't have any issue when it comes to occupancy or even injuries with the occupants within the facility. So it is very, very, very important. Yes, we try to do that to check the quick response of all occupants within the both internal and external. When I'm visiting the premises and I hear or the alarm is being triggered or anyone raises the issue that there's a fire, immediately I also go out.
Okay.
Yes, and then they also do that to see if employees are aware with their surrounding. Yes, because there are steps when you are doing evacuation or this stimulation exercise. We don't use the lift when we do these exercises. Or when there's an emergency, we don't use the lift.
Not to use the lift.
You use strictly the stairway or the staircase. That is it. So we do this to check their alertness and then how mindful they are when it comes to emergencies. Yes.
I see that to be very kind of like dangerous and unsafe, in as much as you are creating the awareness and trying to equip the people when it comes to issue like this. I actually saw someone being on a stretcher. I think the person collapsed, but is that not causing fear and panic?
Okay, so it's a drill. So today I'll enlighten you more about
enlighten me, please.
Okay. Yes. So that's a video that
yes.
Yeah, so with the Ghana Revenue Authority.
Exactly.
Yes,
that was actually the video I saw.
Yeah, that is where so when it happens like this, all agencies, when it comes to rescue, is being attached or liaised to carry out this exercise. So the fire brigade will come. Sometimes the police service too will come. Sometimes if it is about a national issue, the army too will come for when it can be, if it's involving, let's say, robbery or other stuffs, and then there is a need for expertise, the army will also come, and then the police too will be there. But this one is a fire rescue issue, which maybe involves a fire or a building collapse or any of that sort. Yes. So immediately fire service will be dispatched to the scene. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then the safety officer over there will give a small briefing to the OIC of the fire brigade that came there, whilst the ambulance service is also responding to the scene.
So it's like caught off guard.
Yes.
With all these institutions. That means that all these institutions are not equally aware.
They are aware. The thing is that mostly the facility manager or the safety officer over there, with the proposal from them or the service, will result in this drill.
Okay. So it's a collaboration.
Yes, a collaboration. But the employees are not aware.
So it's just the employee that is left in the dark.
Yes.
Hey,
yes. The main reason we do this is that, in case, you see, sometimes we have ranks and then inspection basis for agencies. When an agency records much injuries and then death, it doesn't speak well of that agency.
Of course.
So sometimes we do this, or agencies do this, to check, like I said, the alertness or awareness of the employees, so that if maybe someone doesn't come to work or anything, they will be able to know whether this person came or not. Because when the drill is being done, all these things is being done at the emergency area, that's the assembly point. A head count is being organized to check whether everyone is present.
Okay.
So maybe when someone doesn't come to work, this is where some of the education comes. Sometimes the clock-in slots using for attendance and these things will even alert someone to know even whether this person came or if this person is going out. So all these things will come within. And then I want to chip in one thing here today. So kudos to our regional fire officer, ACFO, to Rashid Kwame Nisao. He's doing a very great job. And then always I'm using his words. He says that all entities should see fire service as a partner in development. So as a partner in development is that anything that you have made up your mind to undertake, try to involve fire service. So like what they did over here, they involve fire service in ensuring that in case of any emergency, how would the employees evacuate? So that is it. So I'm trying to also create the notion now that if you are doing anything, please come to fire service for us to also help you out. Yes, putting out your
friends.
Yes.
You know that your friends, your mother, your brother, sister, cousin, anybody. So we are just like him. Just come to us if you want any help to us or assist in this. This drawings, I have it. This building, how should I do it? This exit, you see, then we would assist you. See, free of charge. That they were free of charge.
Yeah. Free of charge. So that means that the government has taken cost of it, and now it's our taxes.
For firefighting?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It's our taxes. Yes. So it's free of charge.
Yes, please.
Your water bill.
Yes.
That's a part of it. If you read it.
Okay.
Firefighting, 1%.
Shit. You are paying and you don't want to call them. You are paying them and you don't want to call them.
And then please, I want to say something. Maybe I don't know whether you ask on that.
All right.
Please, when they call us, they should stop beating us.
Beating you.
But
the last time we saw in the news, it was like the fire service personnel were actually beating the media.
No, so you see,
that case,
always I've been saying that I wouldn't want to go much into that.
Okay.
Because there's a committee that is looking into that matter. But
yeah.
I always say one thing here. Sometimes when issues come, okay, we all see and then draw a conclusion. So I also urge your outfit to also to get on the field, get much information, and then everything will be okay. And then, like I was saying about the beatings, you see, when fires come, most of occupants, or not even occupants, most of the community goodwill people want to fight the fires before calling fire service. And that is most of our challenge. Sometimes, I quite remember those days when I was at Dansuman, there was a fire outbreak at Mataheko that we attended. And then that time, do you know what my in charge used me for? He wasn't using me as a firefighter. He was using me to take much information. Yes. Because we used that to get findings. So I got there, I was in my normal overall, but there wasn't the inscription of fire service. So I was like one of them. And you even ask someone what's the number of Ghana National Fire Service. The person doesn't know. They don't know. You've understood me.
What number did you call him? Doesn't know.
You see, I want to. I had a video here. I don't know if it's this one. So you see. So this is a bad reportage. You understand me? We haven't burned the house, but the person is blaming us that fire service.
You people didn't get there on time.
Thank you. You see.
But is that a challenge also? You not getting to the area on time.
There are issues that result in this.
What are the issues?
One issue is when you don't place the right call at the right time. We are saying that immediately you see the fire, call fire service. Call us. When you live in a community, most communities have fire stations over there. So you go there and at least through conversation, you try to get to their number. Sometimes we even write them boldly on our walls, or even with our signboards. They are there, the numbers are there. But they'll work and then don't pick it. Because they know that it's a stone throw. So if there's an emergency, they can even run in camp. If you understood me. The other one is, I was saying that they try to put out the fires before they call us. And also, when we are coming, traffic congestion, most of road users don't want to adhere to. Yes, that's the siren. And then when they are calling us, they don't give us the correct address. Okay. Always, I've been advising this. When you are placing a call to Ghana National Fire Service, there are 3 things that we, as an agency, will ask you. We'll ask you with your name and then your telephone number. And then when you mention your name and your telephone number, we expect you to mention the address of wherever that the thing is burning. So an example, if it is at Anya Antieku, maybe Anya Antieku near GhanaTalks radio. So immediately we get to Antieku and then we ask of GhanaTalks radio.
They'll direct
us there. But I'll give you an example. I was at Dansuman again when we were called at dawn for a fire at Mataheko. But unfortunately, do you know what happened? We got to Mataheko and it wasn't Accra here, Mataheko, it was Tema.
Oh, come on.
Mataheko, yes.
That's a waste of.
That's it. Yes. So we went there and then we relayed back telling our fire master control that fire cannot be seen. Kindly inform caller to give the correct address of fire. Until the caller was saying it is Tema.
Oh, come on.
So look at the time.
So the communication,
yes, the communication
is a problem.
Yes. So when you give the correct address of fire, the last thing we expect you to tell us is what is burning.
Okay.
Please, if it's a laptop which is burning, don't tell us that the laptop is burning. It is a house. Do you know the main reason we are saying this? You see, the fire service comes to fire scene with an appliance. An appliance have components or materials or tools that we use in firefighting. So immediately, an example, you tell us that it's a filling station which is burning.
You know what you are bringing.
Thank you. But if you don't tell us that this is it, and an example, the station has is an only water tender, it means that the station will come and now request for maybe a foam concentrate to use in firefighting. So ideally, if you tell us that it's a house that is burning, I know that I'll come with my fire tender and I'll work. If it's a filling station, I need a foam concentrate to work with. If it's a 6 or 7-story building, I know that I need a turntable assistant. So the station will be dispatched, and ideally, the OIC will still request immediately for the turntable ladder. Or even since the call has been placed to the fire master control, the turntable ladder will also be dispatched, including with the tender, to the scene to carry out rescue process.
So if you call the fire service, they'll ask for your name, your contact, and your location. And you have to be accurate and very specific with your location, and you have to make sure that you don't give a wrong location. If you give a wrong location and they come there and they say fire not seen, that's how you say it.
Fire cannot be traced.
Fire cannot be traced. Obeshe. Right. Lastly, before you go, what would you tell the public before we actually wrap up the show?
What I said that please, if you see something, say something.
Say something.
Thank you. That's the main point. See something, say something, and please, the assault, as he rightly said, the assault is too much. I think was it last year? Was it this year at Kaswa? Our wager station tender went there, and they were saying, Prosa Mamba, and then they were just throwing stones on the
car,
the snails and the car. So they had to retreat back, go and relay that this is happening whilst the house was still burning, and they came back
because they couldn't work.
Yes,
and their lives are in danger. How would they work?
How would they work? So please, we are your friends. We are not enemies. We are your friends. So please just tell us, officer, this and that you need. Then we would come to your aid. You see, that's the main. I'm sorry that I would tell them. Just come. You can't come to our main station. Ask around. This and this that you don't understand. Then we would show you. We heard. Your car don't have water. Just come and just check that. There's water in our tender. Then we'll just show it to you.
Show it.
Yes. Just come to us.
So you are at Anya?
Yes, please.
How can we get in touch with you?
Okay. So the contact number of Anya is 029 170 2266. I repeat again, 029 170 2266. And then the other one is 029 170 2110. 029 170 2110.
Right.
So that is that. And then now too, we have created what you call a quick response, or like my boss said, see something, say something.
Yeah.
It's a WhatsApp number that in case you see any fire outbreak, you can also video send it to us. It's like a complaint desk number. And then I also want to put that one in place here. So that's 025 611 6221. 025 611 6221. So that's a WhatsApp number, and that is for our complaint desk.
Right. You have social media?
So social media is not in the name of Anya,
but the whole entity.
Yes, Ghana National Fire Service.
Ghana National Fire Service.
We're on Facebook,
TikTok,
Instagram, X.
Yes. Right.
YouTube, everywhere.
YouTube. So, and even TikTok now.
Yes, please.
So there are so many tips on SIF that you would just go to. Just see the tips that you would want, and they would assist you.
And they will assist you.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dodu, and also Mr. Kofi, and also our moral giver, and also our media personnel, Mr. Haji. Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We had such an insightful and educative program right here with the firefighters. They actually are superhero when it comes to Ghana here. They make sure that they are up to the task. They prevent fire. They are not just firefighters, but they are also humanitarian service workers as well. So they just don't fight fire, as he mentioned.
So my boss just drove my attention, and then we can't be here without giving recognition to our noble officers who have worked for so many years, and then they are taking good care of us. And then special thanks goes to our chief officer, CFO Daniela Mausinto Sapon. She's doing a very great job. And then, like how I'm sitting here, how I'm looking very nice, thanks to her. God richly bless her. And then also other thanks also goes to our directors of the service from director operations to finance to administration, and then logistics, legal. God richly bless all of them, and then most especially also to the one I mentioned, our regional fire commander, ACFO Rashid Kwame Nisao. He's also doing a very great job in Greater Accra here. Every fire you see him.
You see him
yes.
there.
So
he's
we
always
are
present.
Yes, he's always present, and then he forms part of our role models, people that are looking up to in the future.
Right.
Yes, he's one of them, and then most especially our mommy, our MFO, our number one at the station, that is DO2 Florence Minimawe Amwa. She is our MFO, that's the Municipal Fire Commander at Anya. We're also saying that God richly bless her. And then we can also be here without thanks to all personnel at the station. Because even though we go out to ensure compliance and also to reach the public in terms of fires and then preventing them, they are also doing their best very well. Mostly the operational men. Because we are here. But when the fires come, they are the ones that they go and then they risk their lives to save lives. And also those of them at the control room and the watch room, they also receive their calls. And then without them, we can also be here to give this presentation as well. So we are saying that God bless all of them.
God bless all of them. Yeah. But before you go, I would like for you to give an advice to those that get closer to fire tanker cars when they have when they crash or if there's an accident for tanker cars, those that get close to them, please advise them, because it has become very rampant that if there's a full tanker car that gets into an accident, they rush with their bowls,
their pans.
Why do we do that? Please advise them before you go.
Okay. So the advice that I will want to give to every person when it comes to what we call cocoa is that's
actually how you call
it. That's what they call it.
Oh, okay.
Coconut pie, that's what they've been saying. So we've been saying that, you see, when there's a spillage or there's an accident with these vehicles,
for tanker cars,
yes, it is very dangerous, because we have terms that we reach out to what we call the fire point and then the flash point. When the point of fire is being reached for it to surge, it will come at any point, because there are three things that leads to fires. That's the heat, oxygen, and then the fuel. And then already the fuel over there is present. It needs only the heat source for it to come
to spark.
So they themselves trigger with the heat, and then even the vehicles or other moving objects are also in triggers to ignition points. So immediately they get there, within the range for you to even escape is a problem. So we are saying that immediately that you see, just call the emergency responders to immediately come and then salvage the situations. Because when the spillage comes, one, it runs through drains on the roads and then it spills all over. So wherever that you are, even an example, if it is petrol, and then let's say your feet or something even gets to, and then there's a small surge, all of you will go off. Yes. So we are advising them that please, when they see an accident or the resultant of any emergency with these vehicles, they should stay off and then call the appropriate agencies to come and then see to the situation.
Right. Yeah. Stay off from the full tanker cars. Stay away from them. The videos we are seeing, you people, be very, very careful. It's like you don't love your life. Why are you doing that? You don't want to celebrate Christmas. Thank you so much to our firefighters. Thank you, Mr. Dodu, Mr. Kofi, and also Mr. Haji. Media personnel. Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. I believe you had a very educative and very insightful program right here on the show. Thank you to my listeners and to my viewers for joining us. We'll meet same time, God willing, on Monday. Do have a lovely weekend.